What's up, everybody? It is early morning, Sunday the 28th, I think, of May. What's up, Sammy? Hi to Sam, everybody. Sammy! He's out here with Daddy. Happy, happy, happy camper. What's up, Sammy? Your tail's all better now. We had to cut hair off of it and heal a wound, but he's better now. Anyway, what I want to talk about today, the garden, and also Frida. Chris is still in bed, so it's just me today. Bedhead and all. I've been out here recording videos for all the channels today, so this is the one we're wrapping up with. So the rainy season started about 2 weeks ago, but we've seen significant, growth literally on the garden front, and I'm going to show you all that here in a minute. For those of you who have been following along since the beginning, you'll remember that when we moved in, there was nothing here other than this tree. Nothing. Zero greenery. And for a long time, we were using the entire back patch here for the kittens when we had the rescue kittens growing up, and they were using the litter boxes inside. So we just used the dirt from our property. Not for the poop, but for the pee. The poop we threw out like regular trash, but we just kept cycling through the dirt, and so we never allowed the grass to grow. Well, the kittens have all been grown up now. They're a year old, and they've been using purely outside for 6 months now. And really the only time we ever worry about it is if there's a rainstorm that's going to be for like 2 or 3 days. Then we'll pull the litter boxes out of storage and use them inside the house. Anyway, so about 6 months ago, I started regularly watering the whole yard, not just plants, but the whole thing. And we're going to show that progress today. Also, Frida, we did that one video a few weeks ago, said Frida's brooding, and she gave up, but she went back, and now she's been 4 or 5 days. I think today is 5 days with, I think she has 8 or 9 eggs. We've put more eggs under her every day, but I think yesterday was the last day we're putting any new eggs under here. Anyway, she's over. Well, I'll get in there in a minute. I don't want to break my continuity. Anyway, let me go back here and turn the camera around so I can show you guys. So, everything started with the tree, just the tree. And then we started putting our compost around the base of the tree before I had the compost pile over by the chicken coop. And over the course of like 6 months, we started to get lots of greenery here, and Chris was planting like all of her initial saplings here. There's still quite a lot here you can see in containers and stuff. And then just from the natural path of us going from the hose, that's a plastic thing, don't worry about it. Taking the hose and just every day taking it up there, we ended up with a line of grass that was right here. So then Chris decided there was flowers that were starting to grow over here, so we started to water the flowers, so then it grew that way. And then we're starting to put things over there. Now this long term we will end up getting rid of all this because we're going to build an outdoor patio and an outdoor kitchen and stuff, but that's long term, so this is great for now. And then this is the path we walk to the grill, so that's not really important. So lots of greenery here. This is our, we have an avocado tree, Mexican basil, which we use a lot in our cooking. Mexican oregano, not basil. That's not basil. This is Mexican oregano. And here's our basil plant. And she has been very good at producing not just the leaves, what's up, Smeagol, but also lots of seedlings, which have been going over here and growing little baby basil plants. So, there's some papaya trees in here, some cactuses, a tomato plant, which we never properly pruned, so it never bore any fruit. We'll have to take care of that. Mandarin trees, another avocado tree, bunch of stuff. And then we get out to here where we have these two, used to be beautiful papaya trees, until the iguanas tried to climb up and eat all the, well, not just tried, they did. We gave up on that. I mean, it took us like 3 weeks, and we were out here with sticks every single day. I mean, there's 30 iguanas that live up in these trees, at least 30. And when they see fresh fruit and everything else, they will not stop. And it just became a daytime battle. And there was like 2 times where we, we'd have to take a nap, or we'd have to go to the store or something during the peak operating hours of the iguanas. And we'd come home and just, it was like, you know what, it's not even, we can't be vigilant 24/7. It's, you know, it's ridiculous. So until we can build a 100% covered, you know, garden, we have to deal with the fact that there are big ass iguanas. I mean, I'm talking, there's, you know, the 18 inches all the way up to, they can't get over the fence. There are some like I would say 9, 10 feet long ones way back in the back, and then there's a couple of 6-footers. The 6-footers can still climb over the fence, and they're the ones who have broken down a lot of the branches and stuff. It's really annoying, but despite that, those have grown very well. And then we have all of this, you know, this is one of the transplants that survived. This one survived. That one survived. There's our another one of our lemon tree plants. There's one here too. We're gonna have to transplant him because of he's not growing. Anyway, what I wanted to show everybody is that back there is greenery from watering every day, and so just slowly working on things. But what's really cool is that when the rains started a few weeks ago, it pulled down a bunch of seeds out of the trees and out of the woods. And so now we have these tiny little hairs, little grass hairs. And they are everywhere back throughout there on both sides of the fence. Now they stop about about the tree line where my tree is. There's still a few more grass hairs here, and then we get to nothing. There's like nothing back in here. So somewhere around there, which is where this is where we operate our chicken gate anyway. Somewhere a couple feet beyond that is where the seeds appear to have stopped. Now we've only had a couple of really good rains, so we're willing to bet that after a few more rains, we'll start to get even more coverage back in throughout here, which is what we really want, is the whole kit and caboodle. And we have been patient about letting nature take its course. We're not doing any, you know, we're not like planting seeds for grass. Like if you come up in here, like all this greenery is not grass. There are clumps of grass, but we also have like this plant, which there are a lot of. That one's a very hardy plant that just popped up. We have like these weed thing. I mean, they're all weeds, but we have this over here. We have those growing back in there. We have those growing there. You know, here's a papaya tree with, you know, a bunch of stuff growing around it, you know, and we don't care. We're just letting it grow so that it, you know, we'll end up with something like that out back. But it'll be more manicured because once we actually get all greenery in here, we will then start to landscape, because ultimately one of our goals is to have like a nice tree here and a nice tree here, which is what we were hoping that one would be, but it doesn't get enough sun, so that idea is not a great idea at the moment. But we do have, coming out here, you notice that there's tree, tree, tree. So the idea is that we will have 3 trees, and then you walk another few feet and we'll have 3 more, and then probably only, you know, the other 3 right there in between here and the fence. So she had one there, the one in the middle had died, and there was a 3rd one over here. It didn't make it either. So you know, we're missing 1, 2, essentially we're missing 3 plants there and this one. But I mean, it's a work in progress, and eventually, you know, we want to be able to have all these trees back in here, so that when you walk out the back door, you've got just 3 rows of trees going back, 1, 2, 3, and you can walk between them, and we'll have walkways lined out with stones and everything in between each aisle, so that you can just walk out and it'll go between the trees and everything else. And as far as the garden goes, there's enough sunlight here, so we'd like to have a completely enclosed garden in the back, but it has to be completely enclosed, like with a top and everything, because otherwise the iguanas just destroy it. So, you know, big wood posts, like 4x4 posts, like it can't be a wimpy structure. It's got to be able to withstand some of these 75-pound iguanas trying to break down the chicken wire. And then we would need smaller chain link to cover and everything else. It has to be, you know, small enough to not let them crawl through, but also strong enough that it would stand their weight. So we have to build a, you know, big wooden structure to completely enclose the garden with like chicken wire roofs and ceilings and stuff. Anyway, that's our update. So as you can see, the yard is coming along. It's much better than when we first moved in, everybody. Like, I know some people might look at this video who have never watched the other videos and be like, oh, your yard looks like a piece of shit. Well, I'll tell you what, you know, it looks a lot better than it did when we moved in, and it's been a work in progress. We spend at least an hour a day out here watering. I usually do twice a day. Chris will sometimes do a third time. When it's really, really hot, we'll do morning, afternoon, and night, but usually we just do morning and nights. It's about 30 minutes per rotation, so you just come out here for 30 minutes and water the yard. So, oh, let me show you guys Frida while we're here. Don't try to get out. This rooster doesn't like me. He's scared of me. I've had to take a broom to him a couple of times because he's really naughty. So back in here, she made herself a little nest. If you guys can see, there's Frida. Yeah, are you okay, Mama? Yeah, you alright? Making noise already. She tried to start brooding. It was a few weeks ago. We put a video on the channel. We were all like, yay, Frida's brooding. And then she stopped. And then a few days later, she tried again and she stopped. And then, I don't know, like 5 days ago, she started again. And this time she hasn't stopped. So, we just gave her more eggs. And she's been on them for I think today's 5 days. What's up, Mary? Do you want to say hi to everybody? Are you the star of the show? Are you the star of the show? That's going to be a thumbnail. Is it going to be a thumbnail, Mama? Yeah, it's a good girl. She never goes far from home. The rest of them roam. Pippin has been bringing home new things that she kills every night. Not every night, but most nights. She brings home, she's brought home a snake. She's brought home multiple different kinds of birds. She is absolutely the huntress. She is lazing on top of the, if I can show you guys here, the top of the chicken coop. Pippin. Pippin. Yeah, I'm talking to you. The other night, I heard this horrible screaming happening in the hallway, and I opened the door, and she had brought in a bird that was not dead, and it was just, her and her brothers proceeded to, so Chris tried to save it, and then Frodo got a hold of it, and it didn't end well. I told her, I was like, you're not going to be able to save that bird, they've already had a taste of it. And here's Smeagol. What's up, buddy? Are you mad because you want to go in the office? I'm like an hour late to the office, and so they're all grumpy. Sammy's coming home right now, it looks like. So yeah. We haven't done a lot of videos in the last few weeks because honestly, it's just daily routines at this point. We're not wanting to fill up the channel with just stuff. We're not building anything new at the moment. It's just growing the garden, and that's not something we want to show every day. But now that we have some progress, it's a good time to show you guys. And there'll be more, I mean, assuming that any of Frida's chickens hatch, any of her babies hatch, there will absolutely be video footage of that when that happens. But we're not building anything new at the moment. We're just, you know, growing the garden and watering every day. I'll probably do, you know, we'll definitely have another update on the garden and backyard greenery situation in, you know, maybe another couple months or something. But yeah, slowly but surely. If you want to help with Chris and I, it's really easy. You just like, subscribe, hit the bell icon here. We don't have a Patreon or anything like that. We've been debating getting one. But the best way is if you go over to my other channel, you know, if you're into that kind of stuff, all the subscriptions, I have a much bigger YouTube channel over there. I think right now we got about 8,000 subscribers, and you know, all of our income comes from YouTube. So you can head over there and subscribe and do all the things as well as here. Stay tuned. We got more stuff coming. Beyond that, as we continue. But oh, we did build. Well, that's a new project. I actually am going to have some more construction projects coming to the channel too, because Chris and I are about to build another table, and because we need a new table, but we also need to buy lumber for her storefront. So when we go buy the lumber for the storefront, I think we're gonna buy extra and do the table as well. So once I get the lumber ordered, I'll have more videos up doing some more home construction DIY stuff. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, everybody. See you next time.